I know that the past couple of days I've been very angry in my videos with the comedians and their whining and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Massies and Tucker. And it's because after all these years, I'm just exhausted with all these liars. Like, I get that Trump came out and said fake news. Did anybody ever think that he meant all of the news was fake? No, he didn't. But these people ran with it. Whitney Webb ran with it. Am I saying everything that Whitney Webb says about like Epstein and him being tied to this? And I'm not saying everything is a lie, but they mix a bunch of lies in with some truths. And then what they've managed to get MAGA to believe is that everything the news says is false. Well, I think the main news Trump was talking about, at least as far as being false most of the time, is CNN and MSNBC. I'm not saying he's happy with Fox, but he never said that it is all fake. He's called it fake news, but he was particularly talking about CNN and MSNBC. And yes, he's called out Fox because of, Paul Ryan being, involved, and it just the murder, all this stuff. But my point is, I never took Trump saying fake news as meaning everything they say is fake. I think you were supposed to recognize what was true and what was false. And that would take, yes, researching and discerning. But this AIPAC narrative, this is what they've always been going for, and it's like this is their last chance. That's the reason they're throwing balls to the wall with it. And it's literally to try to get Americans to turn their back on Israel. It's cold-hearted. We don't give them money. We give them our military equipment. Not all of it, but we make it for them. It's an honorable thing what we do. Because they would be killed. They would be. That's the whole reason they listen to us. Because there is nobody else that supports them. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying Netanyahu is perfect. I'm not saying no government is perfect, but there's innocent people that live there. And what's gone on in the Middle East has been totally crap. And then to see these people act like that Israel doesn't care. No, they do care about the Palestinians. The problem is that Hamas has always done this. So did the PLO. So does Hezbollah. All of the terrorist organizations do this. Because the terrorist organizations, Iran, the Middle East could care less about the Palestinians. They don't care about them. They don't. That's why they use them as human shields. That's why they set up their operations in the bottom of hospitals. That way, when Israel tries to go after them, if there's any casualties, Hamas can claim, oh, poor us, look at what you did to these people, when they never cared about those people. Yasser Arafat never cared about the children that he would get to go throw rocks. I just posted a video from a guy that was talking about when he was a kid. Yasser Arafat, who was an Egyptian-born man, who became the terrorist leader of Palestine for many years, and he was nothing but a nuisance, came to America when Bill Clinton was in office, and they were trying to get a peace deal, and he just always jerked everybody around, same way Iran does. Because they've made it clear they want those people annihilated. So what do you expect them to do? But they use the Palestinians as human shields. So then Israel tries to do what they can to avoid casualties. But when they talk about this genocide in Palestine, realize it's Hamas causing the genocide. It is. They won't hesitate for a minute to gun down as many Palestinians as they can and then blame Israel for it. And those people, those Palestinians, it was in the past year, there was many articles about them rising up, like in the hundreds, something that hasn't been seen. Because if the Palestinian people rise up against Hamas, they immediately kill them. So that's why I say Israel cares more about them than anybody. Because it's been known forever that the Middle East does, look at Egypt and Jordan don't even want the Palestinians to come in as refugees. I think part of it is because they're afraid that terrorist group will come in too, but nobody gives a shit about them. The people that care about them is Israel. And so when you hear about this genocide stuff, first of all, I think it's total propaganda, a lot of it. And it's Hamas that's the problem. It is. Israel has always tried, because we give them our military equipment, to be very precise with their attacks so that they don't cause casualties. Is there casualties? Yes, because Hamas sets it up like that, because then they get the sympathy of the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the AOCs, and I don't think those people are sympathetic towards humanity at all, okay? Because you have to be an idiot to not know the truth about that region. Yasser Arafat, I remember when he would get kids, he would pull them out of school just to go to the checkpoints and throw the rocks at the tanks, so that the tanks then would, fight back, and then they could get a shot of it, and then all the world be upset. And yet it was Yasser Arafat doing it. The kids didn't even know why. They were just being pulled out of school, just like they would be pulled out of school to go be indoctrinated into how once they're at a certain age, strap these bombs onto yourself and then go into this supermarket, because the Jews, they are raised to believe the Jews are the enemy, and that if they kill themselves in the effort to kill Jews, that then they will, in their afterlife, they will be met with 72 virgins. That's how sick and twisted it is. So when these people in Congress act like Israel's the problem, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. And I know I get very mad about it, because they're such liars. And what they want to do is they want to damn America. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker, they do. I'm not overreacting in that. If we turn our back on Israel, what kind of people do you think that makes us? Because they will be annihilated. Who do you think's been behind this whole propaganda machine that they've been pushing with AIPAC all this time? Iran. Iran and others, but Iran. They've been behind it, with the help of Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Ilhan Omar. Then you got a whole bunch of other ones there. You got Whitney Webb out there pushing her bullshit. You got all of these male comedians pushing the same thing. And they're not telling the full truth about things. Because all they want to do, and all they've wanted to do all these years, is make Americans hate Israel. They want you to hate Israel because you're in the only country that protects Israel. And then when they can't get Trump to turn on Israel, they say, oh, Trump's controlled by Netanyahu. No, that's 100% lie. 100% lie. And some of these Republicans pushing that too. The handful I mentioned. We control them. They will not get our equipment if they don't listen to us. That's why they always have. But that's how deceptive this has been, because these people are such dark hearts. They want to see those people in Israel be annihilated. Sad, very sad.